Busy day recording 2 episodes of the Westwood Living podcast, and this one takes me to the principal's office at Westwood High School. No, I'm not in trouble, but I am with 3 Westwood High School seniors. From my left to right, we have Hank Murray. How are you, Hank?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic to see you again. Next to Hank is Michael Mansour. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Great job singing the national anthem on Westwood Day, by the way. And third is Avery Place. How are you?
Never better.
Never better. And actually, I get such a kick out of watching you all act and sing and dance and all the rest of that. I know that you find great joy in it. So we're here to talk about Space Princess Wars, which is once again a wild premonition from the mind of Jim Howard. And he finds these amazing productions. And I'll start with you, Hank. And just tell me a little bit about what this concept is. Space Princess Wars. It's going to be performed November 6th and 8th, so we're about a week away. Just give me your thoughts on first impressions when you saw the script and what you've thought as things have evolved.
First off, it's just very absurd. It's if you saw Game of Tiaras, it's by the same playwright, Don Zalitis. It is a parody of Star Wars and the Princess Bride. It basically follows this father reading his screenplay that he's written to his sick daughter. And that's basically where all the fantastical elements come in, is as he's putting it on and explaining it to her. There's other references to movies in there. There's a couple of Indiana Jones. There's one to Cats the Musical. It's just a wacky, fun time.
And Michael, you are the father.
Yes, I am.
So this is what happens as you age in the program. You go from being the freshman to all of a sudden now being the old guy. So if you can imagine as a listener here, the Princess Bride, the guy, I think he played Columbo, right?
Peter Falk.
Yeah, Peter Falk, who was reading to his grandson, who was in The Wonder Years, Kevin Arnold. You're that guy.
Yes.
So what did you do any research? Did you watch The Princess Bride?
Yes, of course I watched The Princess Bride. I watched it a few years ago, but then I rewatched it very recently, and it's just been helpful to see what he does. There's not much I can do to emulate his character because he's just reading a story, but the way he reads the story, his I guess his gestures and his pronunciation of certain things, I try my best to take that into consideration when I'm being the dad and reading this story to my child, I guess.
Okay, so Avery pointed out that most of the characters, except you, have played 2 different roles. Explain this to me, because you have 2 different roles, Avery.
I have 2 different roles in that I'm playing Mordra, who is this evil cyborg and the main bad guy. And I'm also playing a minor character who's only seen in the first scene. But what I really meant is that a lot of characters are embodying elements from both Star Wars and The Princess Bride. Hank, for example, is playing Bo Blaster, who is a mixture of Wesley from The Princess Bride and Han Solo from Star Wars.
And what a Bo Blast it is to play him.
Painful. Michael, he's really just the dad, and he's doing a great job of it. And then my character is a mix of Darth Vader and then Prince Humperdinck. Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I stepped on the second one is Prince.
Prince Humperdinck.
Yes. Fantastic. How did you get the role of being Darth Vader? That's cool.
I think I'm just really good at harnessing my inner evilness, and I'm got a great evil laugh too, which I think really puts me ahead of the competition.
Do you get to put that to use during the show?
I get to put it to use. Yeah.
What's it been like to see this evolve? Because I would imagine there's some latitude in terms of how far you can go with the jokes, with the absurdity, like you pointed out, Hank. So we'll go back to Michael first, and then we'll get to you. So do you feel that there is there's a long leash when you do a production like this to take things in a crazy direction?
Yes, I think definitely. So during the rehearsals, I'm really just seated on stage right, and I really just get to watch everything unfold. And something that Mr. Howard always just says is just that we need to be absurd in order for it to be funny, because we understand that it's a combination of these shows, of these movies, and that's what makes it really fun. If we think of this as a serious and if we think of this as a serious play that each joke needs to be taken seriously, then it's not going to land. And it's just something that the cast has done a fantastic job of doing, of taking these jokes, really making them their own, and just having fun with the whole process.
Okay, this is a look yourself in the mirror moment, Hank. You got to look around this table too. Is it conceivable that this play was rolled out this year for this group of people?
Absolutely. I think that's always going to be in consideration. Mr. Howard always says, you don't do Hamlet if you don't have a Hamlet. You're gonna take into consideration the people that you're gonna have going into a show. And while I wouldn't say that he has everything cast going in, he definitely has ideas. And I think we're playing people and characters and archetypes that we've grown to be like really comfortable in, and that like we really show strength in.
Yeah, I would say, having watched a number of the performances over the last few years, this is a goofy class of 2026.
Yes.
And I mean that in the greatest way.
Yes.
It's a high compliment. I think that if there's a group that can pull off a comedy, a farce per se, that this is a pretty strong group.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond the three that are sitting here at this table, there's many others who we've seen. But at the same time, is there anybody, and let's put them on the spot a little bit, is there anybody who you perceive to be more of a serious actor who's challenged a bit during this because they've been told to loosen up? Like, hey, you got to loosen up a little bit to let this go. You're shaking your head. You got somebody, Hank.
I mean, who immediately comes to mind is Charlie. Charlie's great.
Fantastic actor.
He's amazing. And it's always fun seeing him go into comedic roles because it's very clear that his instinct is to go dramatic.
Right now he's putting on sort of an older British accent,
Okay.
kind of like Regency, and he's making it work. Whenever he puts on like a comedic role, it's sort of like an air of dignity to it too. So it's fun, like combining the absurdity with like his natural, like Hank said, his need to be dramatic.
Well, I'm going back in time. I think, Hank, you went Martha Jones, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So these other two, they were Sheehan. So you recall Charlie as Snoopy, right? Wasn't Charlie Snoopy back in the day? Right.
Yes.
So we saw glimmers of brilliance at an early age. But to that point, let's talk about that, because I was so impressed when you were in elementary school, even before you got to Thurston, at how very coordinated and orchestrated the shows were. I have to imagine that was incredibly helpful. Can you just go back in time and talk about how this acting bug bit you at a really young age and the program that exists back in the elementary school level in this town?
So I think it is really important just to have those opportunities for children. Like growing up, you're always given a chance to play like soccer, lacrosse, football in this town. And so for those same reasons, you want to introduce them to theater if that's what they're interested in at a young age. It gives them like a chance to explore this, to like find a way to express themselves through like dancing and music and like immersing themselves in these characters. And just like another benefit is that it makes you really good at public speaking.
Yes.
But it's just a fun way to like learn these different art forms beyond like what people normally think of for art. Come closer to people with similar ideas, because it's such a fun group of people that you're getting to know, and just try something new and put yourself out there.
Yeah, so Michael, we've told your family story over the last couple of years. The whole Mansours were on the cover of Westwood Living back, I think, in when you were a freshman, so which must have been 2023. But acting's been in your family forever. This was almost like a fait accompli. We kind of knew that you'd be rising the ranks here when we saw what was going on with your siblings.
Yeah.
But what's that been like to grow up in a family that...
I think it's been amazing, because I've always had that community where I can be myself, and like it's kind of pointed me in that direction of theater, because like I loved it from a young age. And from that young age, like developing through like middle school and high school, it's just been that place where like I can go after school to be myself, and I know my family like shares that same interest, so, and like community, so it's been very helpful.
And what I have spoken to many kids about, and I almost feel it's worth talking about every time I connect with kids in the theater program, is the culture that has been established, where there's no hazing, there's no one grade is better than another grade. It is all for one for all. When you are a freshman, you come into this group and you are received warmly. Is that fair to say, Hank?
Well, absolutely, because I mean we're all putting on a show. It all reflects, we're a cast, we're a crew. It's vital to the success of the show that we all work together, and part of that is creating such a strong environment both on and off the stage. You can't have good chemistry between your castmates on stage if you can't, joke and kid around with them backstage.
Yeah, it's almost dyed in the wool, Avery, that it's expected. And I'm sure that you were embraced warmly 3 years ago when you were a freshman. So it's your responsibility now to assume that role of mentor.
Of course, you want them to feel like comfortable and just like embracing the dramatic. Mr. Howard's told us that like self-consciousness is like the enemy of acting, because especially in a play like this where you have to be like absurd and over the top, you can't feel like these people are judging me, I'm doing a bad time, I'm doing like a bad job, I'm making a fool of myself. You want to feel like comfortable around these people so you can like deliver the best that you can.
Very cool. One thing that I learned right before we started recording is that everyone has multiple jobs here, including Hank, who's also in charge of lighting or just on the lighting team.
I'm the designer, so I'm doing it all. I'm gonna be here until 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight, finishing up, and then over the course of the next 2 weeks, I tweak it. I teach our crew members how to run the lights where it fits into the script. I love doing it.
Yeah, I want to hear more about what drew you into that. How do you fall in love with that, and how do you learn more about it?
I've always loved the theater. Ever since I was 3 and I saw Beauty and the Beast at Citizens Bank Opera House. What I think people don't often realize is that you can love being in a theater and not just be an actor. And that's what I thought it meant for a while, because I do love acting. But my freshman year, Jeremy Stern, who was a senior, he was the lighting designer. He had done the lights for 12th Night, and we were both crew members on the 6th grade play. And I was just watching him work the machines, typing in cues and everything, and I was like, that seems really cool. So over my freshman year, he taught me all of the basics about lighting and sound design, and through my sophomore and junior years, I just fell in love with it. If there's an event at the Westwood High School auditorium, you can usually see me in the back, lights, sound, working the rigging in the back of the stage, where we bring all the curtains and the drops in. And it was Much Ado About Nothing last year, our fall play, where it was the first Westwood show that I ever designed lights for.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. I one of my favorite things about high school has been that opportunity.
Little trivia for you. My college roommate, lighting designer, professionally right now. And it started in high school and then carried on to college at BC, and now he's a professor, believe it or not, of a theater department in California. So there's opportunities for further advancement here. Beyond your acting in this specific play, what other responsibilities do the two of you have? Michael, you can go first.
In this play specifically, I'm the fight captain, which means that there are a bunch of moments in the show where the actors use lightsabers, and we had the lightsaber coordinator come in, and I was just kind of like in his shadow, making sure everyone is safe using lightsabers, because that's the most important thing. And yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
Minimal injuries on his watch.
Fight choreography. Do you have the sound effect? Who's in charge of sound? Do you have the little lightsabers?
That's I think that's going to be Reese.
I'm glad it exists.
Mr. Howard chooses what we use, and then I think it'll be Reese who runs it.
Awesome. Avery?
So I don't have, unlike these two, I don't have like an official job, but as a senior, I try to do my best to make sure like everybody's needs are being met. All of like the props that were painted earlier in the day are moved off the stage. I try to help out with costumes when I can. When we have a wonderful costume designer. She comes in, she runs a shop, her name is Regina, and it's a lot of work coordinating everybody's like costume changes, getting everyone's measurements. So I just see if I'm not doing something immediately important, I go back there and see, hey, do you need me to hang up some pants? Do you need me to like label some clothing, some costumes? What can I do for you? And so it's really just about seeing what you can do and not being idle in the meanwhile.
This is cool. All right. While I have you, I'm going to ask you questions. No pressure. I'm not asking where you're going, how the application process is going, any of that stuff, but just very broadly, is this something you want to continue? Wherever you go, do you want arts at the collegiate level to be a part of what you do? Whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
I'll start.
That's Hank.
Definitely lighting. Lighting, I'm definitely pursuing in college, and I'm gonna keep acting kind of in my periphery. I'm going to do it here and there where I can. And if it pans out, then it does. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But, I've always said that I don't think I'll ever truly be able to leave a theater. And I think that has really taken its form in my affinity for lighting design.
Nice. How about you? You got to do something, right?
Yeah.
I can't. No, it's over, Tom. I'm done. My whole life I've been doing this, but it ends 2026.
Yes. So for theater, I think I definitely want to continue it, but I think more of a crew standpoint, because like I'm in love with the piano. I've been playing piano my entire life. And I am interested in music directing a show in college, but also being the dance captain, because I danced all the way up until high school, and that could be something that I want to continue. So definitely trying to find opportunities to be the music director, dance captain, and then I 100% want to continue a cappella in college as well. And if the moment comes up to audition for a show that I'm really interested in, then I would totally do it.
Nice. Good for you. More trivia? Music director of an a cappella group in college. You're looking at him right here. Can you believe it? Bostonians at Boston College. All right, I have a secondary question for you after you answer this one, Avery. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you were like a tenor or a bass, but
You know, they actually had a specific description of what I could do that I can't say out loud on this podcast, but I have a very wide range. And I initially started the group as a bass, but they realized I could sing the tenor parts, so they said, we're going to shift you over there because those are somewhat more difficult. Yeah. So that it was called a part blank, which I'll share with you when we're done. But continue. So what do you anticipate doing next year?
So theater, like the other two, is definitely something I want to pursue. A lot of the colleges I'm looking at have like a wider range of theater clubs, from like improv to like more scripted things. I've also done like a lot of programs in script writing, so I know that's something I really do enjoy doing, the entire creative process. So whether I'm just like an actor on a stage or just like working on tiny scripts I'll never see the light of day, I definitely, like Hank said, I don't think I can ever leave the theater either. And whether that's like as an actor, a script writer, or a ghost trapped in a theater, who knows? We'll see.
Okay, now you have the unique situation of having a twin sister, and one of the things I have always admired about your family and your parents is that the two of you have always had different lives on purpose, right? Different groups of friends, you've done different things, been involved in different things. What's the philosophy there? Have you thought about, do you want to continue your education with Molly? Do you want to go together, or will that trend continue, you think?
So with the college tours, we can't always like see separate schools. A lot of the times we're seeing them together, and it happens that a lot of what we want in a school is perfectly aligns, but we're not trying like on purpose to go to the same school. If we end up together, it will be great because we know we'll have a support system, somebody to rely on when we're there. But even if we're in a completely different state, completely different colleges or communities, we know that like our family is important to us, and that if we need anything, they'll be there to help us.
Very cool. Great answer. And have you noticed how many twins there are in this school?
There are a lot.
It's unbelievable. I mean, not just the class of 26, but in the class of 25, there were a few twins as well. So I've noticed that. I've always thought I should do like a twin edition and just gather anybody who's a twin, gather in. Do we have any triplets? Any triplets? I don't remember any triplets. Okay, details of the play. Would somebody like to tackle this, or would you like me to do it?
I got it.
Go.
Tickets are on westwoodstage.com. Performances are November 6th at 7:30 p.m. and November 8th at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m.
So that is a Thursday night, and then, of
Thursday
course,
and
a Saturday afternoon and a Saturday night. I think there's probably going to be a football game in there on Friday the 7th, which makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. Anybody else have some final words? Sounds like maybe Avery, you might.
I was just apologizing for hitting Michael in the face with the microphone.
Oh, yeah, that's nice of you.
I thought so.
Conscientious on top of everything else.
This might not be your typical play, but if you're into out there theater and you really like laughing, or you're just a fan of Star Wars or The Princess Bride, I cannot recommend this show enough. It's really fun. It's a great way to support the arts, and just a great way to spend your Thursday or Saturday evening.
Mike, you can't do any better than that. You're going to
Seriously, that's like everything,
That's
I guess.
good. All right.
It's a really fun show. Come see it.
That is Michael Mansour. To his left is Avery Place. To his right is Hank Murray. Of course, this will be produced and directed by Jim Howard. Please come check it out. Westwoodstage.com is the place to go. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Westwood Living Podcast. As always, if there's someone else you want me to have a conversation with, just send me an email, tleiden@bestversionmedia.com. I will find that person, have a conversation with them, and then share it with you right here on the Westwood Living Podcast Network. But for now, so long, and come check out the play next week. We'll see you there.